Hey guys, it's me, Amanda, also known as Amateur Aries, and today we're doing something a little bit different than what I'm used to doing. I'm going to do a challenge. I'm going to do the one dip challenge, and basically that means that I'm only going to take a one dip out of all of my makeup to put it on. I hope I described that appropriately. So basically out of this bottle I'll try to squeeze out as much as I can, or that much that I need, and that's only an amount that I'm allowed to use. Same with my foundation, which I don't even think there's anything in here, so if I say, oops, there's nothing in here, that means I have to go get the second bottle because I hear a little bit of liquid. Hopefully it's enough. And the same with concealer and powders and everything like that. So everything is laid out for me, so let's get started so this video isn't that long. First, I'm using Olay Whip Ultimate Facial Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 35. If you hear noises in the background, those are my cats tweaking out. So I'm just going to try to do one squeeze. Sometimes nothing comes out with one squeeze, so... Oh, we got some stuff coming out. And that's all that I'm allowed to use. I'm gonna throw that down in my bag. It looked like there was enough product, but there's still some areas I can feel that didn't get touched. So that sucks. But good thing I'm not going outside today, except for letting the dog out on occasion. Next, I'm using Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer in the sample size. I gotta try to get the product out. It's to that point where it's like, girl, no, we're not doing any of that. So I gotta really squeeze. And that's all I'm allowed to use. Now normally I would put this on my problem areas where my pores are mostly, which is like my nose, around my nose. So let's try to do that. And I even have a little extra left. So I'm gonna put that in my T-zone. Now is my color correction. I have two color corrections. I have a green one for my red spots, and I have an orange one for my under eyes. Matter of fact, give me 1 second. I have to cut my nail in order to make sure I can actually reach inside of here. Now I really don't have any red spots except for like right here, but I usually also put it on my nose. So this is the applicator. I'm going to try to squeeze them out. And that's all I'm going to use. It's a little bit. I put some on my nose. I'm starting to run out. Good thing I had some on the other side. Now we're just going to blend it out with a finger. And now we're going to use the orange pot, which is NYX Professional Makeup Dark Circle Concealer in Light. Now this is the problem because I usually dip into this a couple of times to completely hide my dark circles. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to try to get as much as possible onto my finger. And that's all I'm allowed to use. So I'm just going to space it out, use the side of my fingers if I have to. And that's all I'm allowed to use. Now let's blend it out. I don't think this is nearly as much as I would normally use. It's not hiding my circle very well. But it's a good thing I used two different concealers at two different parts of the process. Now for the first concealer, I'm using Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Full Coverage Concealer in Light Neutral. Okay, now all I'm allowed to use is whatever is on this stick. So that's all I'm allowed to use. It's not a lot compared to what I'm used to using, but it'll have to do. There's my damp beauty blender. And let's blend this out. By the way, the person who came up with this challenge is Lauren9to5, but I saw Soph Does Life, Nikki Tutorials, and James Charles do it, and a couple of others whose names have kind of surpassed me, so I wanted to make sure I let you guys know who came up with it. I kind of forgot in the beginning of this video, and it's already too late to do another intro because I already put makeup on. So Lauren9to5, thank you for coming up with this challenge. It's different. I say it's gonna be fun, but I think it's gonna give me a heart attack when it comes to this foundation. Now this is the only foundation I have. I promise you. I could literally take a camera into my bedroom and show you it's the only foundation I have. The only other foundations I have is literally the same color, same bottle and everything, and in a darker version. So this is gonna be difficult because it does not have an applicator. So I do not know how I'm going to do this. I think I'm just going to put it in the back of my hand and hope for the best. So what I'm using is L'Oreal's True Match Super Blendable Makeup in Neutral and 3. So I'm just going to do this. Hope that someone's coming out. Yep, someone's coming out. And that's all I'm allowed to use. Usually I dip my finger in it, like I put my finger in it, I do this, and then I put it all over my face. But this will have to do. It's actually a lot of product on this. I wasn't expecting this much to come off. Okay, I guess I can add a little bit more. And that's basically all. I'm going to wipe this off. Now I'm going to blend it out. A lot more came out than I was expecting. Usually, I thought that was almost empty. I literally thought this was empty. I was like, okay, this is nothing's going to come out. I'm going to have nothing to have when it comes to this foundation. But I was wrong. Oh, my hand's getting tired already. You would think with how much I put makeup on that my hand would not get tired anymore. But no. Now for the neck. You should always blend down your neck if your foundation does not match your neck color. Usually it doesn't. Because your neck's like, girl, nah, we're not gonna match anything. So the coverage looks fine. It's about the amount that I put on my face, so that came out pretty well. I was not expecting that. I still feel a little bit wet right here, so I'm just gonna dab it. Now for my second concealer, which I usually just put underneath my eyes, and if anywhere else that might have a little bit more of a red spot showing. But we're gonna put it on my forehead as well, and on my chin and around my lips, if there is enough on the applicator. I'm using Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Light Neutral. Usually there's a lot that comes off on this applicator anyways, and I usually have to brush it off. Yeah, a lot more came off than to be expected. Alright, now it's dry, pretty much dry. Alright, that came out good. I think I'm most worried about is my powder. Why? Although I have other powders I could be using right now, this is my favorite. This is the one I use the most often, so I figured I'll use this one for this video instead of cheating and just using one of my other ones that'd probably be easier to use. But I have to do this in order to get the powder on the thing, and usually it's not enough. I'm using Becca's Hydra Mist Set and Refresh Powder. I think this is translucent shade. I don't know if I even saw that on there. So a lot of product actually did go away for me. Did come out, but I'm only allowed to use the amount that's going to be on here. So I'm just going to do that. And that's all I'm allowed to use. Well, I was really worried about that. But it was a good amount. It was a decent amount. Now I'm gonna let this bake as much as that it can with the amount that's on there. And we're gonna do the most worrisome part for me, at least, and that's the eyebrows. I have Anastasia's Pomade Dip Brow Medium Brown. There's never enough that comes out on this thing. Never enough. So this is gonna be interesting. I'm going to brush my hairs. This brow is usually just perfect no matter what. It's like perfect shape. It's the way I want my eyebrows to be. This one didn't came out the same. And I do not know how to tweeze it into place to make it look like this. So in the future, whenever I can afford it, which is going to be a long time, I'm going to get it tweezed to where it looks like this. So sorry that this one always looks abnormal compared to the other one. And that's all I'm allowed to use. So I'm going to go to, Detail. Oh man, I messed up. I need this closer. I need something closer. Ah. Gonna focus on this eyebrow the most. This eyebrow is my problem eyebrow. I think it came out decent. It's not perfect. Now I'm gonna try to do as much as I can with my good eyebrow. Oh, a lot came out then. Maybe it just doesn't like the other eyebrow. That could be it. That could be it. Because a lot came out on this eyebrow. Okay, I'm gonna try to fix this one if there's any product left. There's a little bit of product left. Let's try to can use the rest of it to fill it in. This one came a little bit effed up. There, fixed it a little bit. Now, I normally don't do this process, but since I wasn't sure how much brow gel I was going to get off on my brows, I decided to try to use the Benefit Gimme Brow. It's sample size, so I'm not going to get very much off of this anyways. I'm going to try doing this, and then brush it through to fill in any extra spaces, and also to keep the brow in place. It's not really filling in anything. I think I ran out on my bad eyebrow too. It ran out on my bad eyebrow. Now I'm going to use this brush. I'm going to, oops, sorry, my foot kind of fell asleep. I'm going to take all the hairs off. I'm going to rub it on my little towelette that I use to rub off my brushes. And then I'm going to get rid of any extra bake on my eyebrows. Not my eyebrows, on my under eyes. Okay, I think it's all clean. There's not much on there when it comes to extra. So now for more powders. Powders is what I'm mostly worried about. I'm using Kat Von D's Shade and Light palette in the shade Subconscious, which is, oh god, this is getting worse. This one's broken. And I'm trying to keep as much in there as possible because this is an expensive palette. So I'm going to use this one right here. It already hit pan. I'm going to try to use as much as possible. And try to contour. Okay, let's contour. That came out a little bit muddy. I think I added too much. This one doesn't even look like it has anything on there from where I can tell in my mirror, but in the viewfinder it looks like there is a little bit something there. Gonna look through the viewfinder and see if I can see it while I'm blending. Or the mirror, maybe. Alright, that made me dizzy looking up like that. Next is blush. Now I normally don't put blush on, but for the sake of this video, I figured I will. I'm using Saete London Marked Light in the color Dusk. I really like this one because it reminds me of Sailor Moon. And this is the shade that it is. Now I normally don't put, blush on, so this is going to be interesting. Just going to dip my brush into it. And that's all I'm allowed to put on. It's a lot. Now to blend it out. I'm gonna brush the excess off. And I'm gonna blend it out. It's more blush than I normally put on, believe it or not. But like I said, I normally don't put on any blush at all, because I'm not a blushing type of girl. Now to put highlighter on, using Anastasia's Beverly Hills Nicole Guerrero's Glow Kit. She's my favorite. And I'm gonna do it in Forever Lit, which is the one right here. Now, usually I just use my finger and pop it on more than once. But I'm going to use my finger this time, and I'm just going to try to get as much on my finger as possible. That's all I'm allowed to use. Alright, let's wipe any excess off, which there's like none. And then I'm going to use the brush to blend it out. First, I'm going to clean the brush off, just in case there's any extra rosy color to it. And just lightly go over it. Because I think there's a little bit more than what I'm used to on it. Now, another worrisome thing is doing the eyes. The eyes are the next worrisome thing, because I dip a lot into my eyeshadow because I usually start with a little and then I add to it to continue. First, I'm going to use my Maybelline Cover Stick Concealer, although I already have concealer on my eyes. I'm going to use a little bit so that my shadow stays on all day and the colors come out brighter than they should. So I'm just going to do this until like that. Alright, not a lot came off my finger, not a lot compared to what I'm used to. And I'm going to itch my eye because there's a hair in it. I hate when you can't find the hair. I think about it. And I'm going to blend it into my eyeball. Well, my eyelid, but you know what I'm saying. A lot more came off on this side than it did on the other eye. But that's okay. For the palette I'm using BH Cosmetics Carly Bible Deluxe Edition. It's out of stock because it's limited edition, but it's my favorite palette, so I figured I'd use my favorite palette to do this look. And you'd think my favorite palette would hit pan, but I try not to use it because it's my favorite palette, because I don't want to run out because it's limited edition. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to set my eyes using this one right here and this big fluffy brush. I'm going to clean it off first because I've been practicing my makeup like the last few days and I have not been cleaning my brushes. I'm going to dip into this as much as I can, and that's all I'm allowed to use. That's a lot. That was a lot more than I was expecting. Alright. Let's blend it out. This eyebrow, it's not looking great. Now for my crease color, I'm using this light mauve shade right here, or I think it's a mauve shade, but it's this shade right here, right here, right here. I want to grab as much as I can. And gingerly put as much as I can into the crease. I think a little bit more came out on this eye. Now we're going to blend. I'm going to blend it kind of in unison because there's still a little bit of product left. Yeah, this side definitely didn't get as much as this side did. You can tell this is the dominant eye. I usually use this eye the most when it comes to... This is the eye I usually do things on first there. That's what I was trying to say. Should I do the eyelid color next, or should I use the end color next? Well, let's do the end color first. I'm going to use this color right here, this darker mauve color. I'm going to put it at the end of my eye. I'm going to try to. Anubis. Oh, a lot came out. A lot came out. Alright, wish me luck, guys. Alright, I'm gonna just clean that off. And then blend this at the end of my eye. Now for the eyelid. Only so much comes off on these brushes, so this is going to be interesting. I'm going to use this iridescent color. I think that's what you call it, iridescent. It has multiple colors in it. It has pinks, reds, and golds in it. And I would normally spray down my brush. I mean, I guess I can still do that. Okay, I'm going to use my spray. I'm using Wet n Wild's Photo Focus Rose in 3-in-1 primer water. I'm just going to do one squirt. And then I'm going to grab as much as I can onto the brush. That much. A lot more came off than I was expecting. Excuse my cat in the background. He always does that after he goes to the bathroom. He always starts meowing really loudly and then freaking out. And he's like, I'm free of poopy and pee-pee. Now to do my under eyes. I'm gonna clean off this brush because it's seen very colorful colors on it. And it did not look any different. I'm going to go back to this light mauve color. Grab as much as I can. And I'm going to place it underneath my eye. And then I'm going to go to the darker mauve color and place as much of it as possible on the end of my lower lid. And that as much as I got. Now for the tear duct / front of the lower lid. I'm going to use this pearl white color right here. I'm going to place it in my inner corner. A lot more came off than I was expecting. A lot more. And there. That's the finished product of the eyes. At least until we do our eyelashes, which is another thing I'm worried about. So I'm going to clean this off and then I'm going to fix that because a lot more came off than I was expecting. I'm just going to clean this off. It's as good as it's gonna get. Now I have to go get my lashes, excuse me. Alright, I am back. Got my eyelash glue and my tweezers. But first I'm going to clean off my eyelashes because they've been used before. I'm using Kiss Lashes in Page Boy, by the way. It's my favorite lashes, if you guys didn't know. I'm out of breath because walking. Need to say more. That goes over there because it goes in that eye. Just gonna put this down here. This one's a lot more dirtier for some unknown reason. I'm only allowed to use whatever is on this brush on both lashes. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to swirl it around nice and good. And then I'm going to pop it off, and then I'm going to put it on both lashes. Okay, good. Got some on the end of my eyelash, like so. I'm just gonna try putting more on. And then I'm going to try to put them on. Now, I normally don't put on eyeliner, so that's why I didn't do eyeliner today. Like, I don't breathe when I put my eyelashes on for some reason. I notice. Sorry if I'm so blurry, but I need to be able to see when I put my eyelashes on. Alright, so they're on, surprisingly. I'm gonna put these away. Alright, let's put lipstick on before I put mascara on so that these babies can dry. I'm using Decay Colors lipstick or lip cream in Flirty. Alright, let's see if I get it all the way on. Oh, a lot came off. That's all I needed. I was not expecting that. Oh, I got my teeth. Of course. Let's just do this so it dries faster. Let's clean up this mess. Clean up this mess. So I have less to do afterwards. I'll keep my tweezers out just in case they come off with this mascara. I'm using telescopic mascara, L'Oreal telescopic mascara, and I'm going to swirl it around in its product. Pop it out. There. So far, so good. I'm gonna put this away. No, I usually sprit my face, but I'm gonna wait till my mascara dries, so give me a second. Okay, now I'm gonna sprit some on my face. I am only allowed to use one spray. I'm gonna just take my beauty blender and just do this. Helps take off extra powder so I don't look nearly as cakey and look more natural. And that's it, guys. I was not expecting it to come off this easily. I mean, it really shows you how much product that you use and how little you really need. So I was not expecting it to do that. I wasn't expecting it to be able to fully get my face done. All my foundation was on, all my concealer was on. I wasn't expecting this at all. So, wow. So what do you guys think? I challenge you to do the one dip challenge. And if you'd like to see more challenges, go ahead and tell me in the comments and I'll look for more. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. So like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys, well, have a wonderful day. Bye!